Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, here on the U to the 2. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and I have no idea why I am wearing this live-action Cowboy Bebop shirt, because I can't stand live-action Cowboy Bebop. But here I am. Anyway, hope everybody's been doing well. Hope everybody's had a great week. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but got quite a good amount of stuff to talk about. I'm going to review the recent Stardom Triangle Derby 1 Finals pay-per-view. The Triangle Derby tournament is officially in the books, and it's been quite a great tournament. To cap it off with one last pay-per-view to do the knockout round and the finals, as far as other titles on the line. Also going to talk a little New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got the anniversary show coming up. I'll talk a little bit about that. New Japan Cup is getting ready to start. Talk a little Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, as you know, with us being in the month of March, the full card is now out for Grand Princess coming up on March 18th. So a lot to look forward to there, which is the main big show that's going to happen before the big U.S. show on March 31st in Los Angeles for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. So they got a lot coming up. ROH. ROH is back and TV tapings have started. They just recently premiered their first TV taping of ROH on the Honor Club. So thought that was pretty cool that they brought that back. They got that going. And I'm pretty sure they did a couple of TV tapings already, but that was just the first one that they broadcasted. But definitely ROH got off to a really good start. So, you know, we'll talk a little bit about that. Talk a little WWE, couple of things on my mind about WWE. And then to finish this show off, I'm going to preview the card for AEW Revolution and give my predictions. But first off, before we get started, definitely take an opportunity to check out the link to Game Beauty that's in the description for an awesome lineup of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products. And if you see something you're interested in and want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzBallChamp, all in caps, and you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that promo code. So anyway, let's get started with the recent Stardom Triangle Derby 1 finals. And I have to say, it was quite a great pay-per-view. And what a way to finish off this tournament. And it had a lot of matches. Had a good number of matches. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed the show from start to finish. A lot of bright spots, maybe one negative spot, but kind of understandable how it went down. But still, overall, it was a great show. Anyway, one second. Just want to get everything up and running. So, the finals, Triangle Derby finals, took place in Tokyo, Japan at the Yoyogi National Gymnasium. And We did have a few pre-show matches to start the show off. As a matter of fact, we had two, to be specific, two pre-show matches. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the card for the show. And you can also check the description, and I have the card listed there. Anyway, so we first started off with a three-way match, a triple threat match. We had Queen's Quest Hina versus Miyu Amasaki versus Oedo Tai's Rina. So you had two members of Queen's Quest and one member of Oedo Tai. While it did start off with Hina and Miyu working together, didn't really last long. After all, it is every woman for himself, being that it's a three-way match. It's a triple threat match. But, you know, all three ladies got a good amount of offense in. Decent opening match overall. But Rina was able to take advantage of an opening to capitalize on pinning Miyu Amasaki with a jackknife pin to get the 1-2-3. And Rina stands tall in victory in this three-way match, which honestly, I'm not surprised. I figured that was going to happen, being that, you know, two members of Queen's Quest in this match, one member of Oedo Tai. I kind of figured that was what was going to end up happening. So wasn't really too surprised. But Rina picks up the victory in the first pre-show match. And then the second pre-show match came down to a tag team match. You had Queen's Quest, so more Queen's Quest. You had Lady C and Utami Hayashishita taking on the team of Maika Ozaki and Kaichow, 2/3 of Rebel and Enemy, who was just recently competed in the Stardom Triangle Derby, won. But it's a little abnormal seeing Utami Hayashishita in the pre-show of a pay-per-view. You know, it's not normal. It's not normal at all. But it was still a great match. You know, a good solid tag team match. I know you had the weird shenanigans with Kaichow as usual, but I felt like both teams looked really good in this match. But ultimately, it came down to a German suplex from Utami Hayashishita to Maika Ozaki to get the victory for Queen's Quest. And yeah, Utami and Lady C victorious in the second pre-show. Like I said, but both teams look good. Both teams look good. So that concluded the pre-show. And then both Utami Hayashishita and Lady C later on joined for special guest commentary for the pay-per-view. So just food for thought there. Anyway, let's dig into the main card. So the main card started off with a trios match where we had the team of Donna Del Mundo's Thekla, Maika, and Mai Sakurai taking on Waka Tsukiyama and Club Venus's Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. Now, I found it kind of funny. One second. I found it kind of funny that Club Venus came in doing their Pink Bandit dance, and then right at the end, Waka just shows up, poses in the middle, and just runs down the ramp. Just like, that's been her thing now, is just show up at the last second, pose, and then just run down to the ramp to get in the ring. So that's Waka for you. But I did like the start of the match being Thekla and Mariah May. I thought that was pretty neat. But overall, thought this was a good, solid match to start the main card off. Waka Tsukiyama got in a good amount of offense in this match, so was happy to see that. Mina Shirakawa looked really great. Her and Maika had some great exchanges in this match. But overall, a very strong opening match on the main card. And I have to say, I was really impressed to see Mai Sakurai pick up the victory for Donna Del Mondo after hitting Waka Tsukiyama with a somersault leg drop off the top rope, pretty much the Harlem Hangover that Booker T used to do. But yeah, nailed it. And actually, her leg came right across Waka's face. And Waka was bleeding a little bit earlier in that match, but to see Mai Sakurai hit that Harlem Hangover and her leg come directly across Waka's face, I kind of felt for Waka Tsukiyama. I hope she was all right, but like her leg landed right on her face. It was a little scary, but hope she's okay. But Mai Sakurai pinned Waka Tsukiyama after that to pick up the victory for Donna Del Mondo. But wow, that was sick finish. Okay. And then next up, we had a 10-woman tag team match. A great faction battle here, as we had the team of Stars made up of leader Mayu Iwatani, Momo Kohgo, Hanan, Saya Iida, and Koguma taking on Oedo Tai, led by Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, Fukiken Death, Ruaka, and Saki Kashima. So big old faction battle here. And I have to say, definitely all 10 ladies were showcased pretty well. A lot of double teams, a lot of triple teams, a lot of combo sequence moves in this match from both teams. I think Stars overall had a little bit more as far as offense, as far as like, double and triple team tandem moves. But still, all 10 ladies showcased really well. And when it came down to it, I was kind of upset with this finish, but not surprised because, like I said, I'm not really a fan of Fukiken Death. But Fukiken Death pins Momo Kohgo with the O'Connor roll, and Oedo Tai picks up the victory. Oh man, just Momo Kohgo's really been on a losing streak. I mean, she just typically is the one that gets pinned in the last handful of matches that she's had, whether it's singles matches or, tag team trios, whatever. But really tough break for Stars, especially Momo Kohgo. But Oedo Tai reigns supreme in this ultimate faction battle. Okay, next up, the knockout round of the Triangle Derby kicks off with the first semifinals match being Cosmic Angels, made up of Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Saki, taking on a Barimbo GE, or Barimbo God's Eye, which is Shuri, Mirai, and Amisore. So our first knockout round semifinals match. And I have to say, this was definitely a great match, back and forth. Really got to see a lot out of Natsupoi and Tam Nakano, especially being that those two together are melt here, and they did a lot in this match as far as double team moves, which doesn't surprise me. Nothing against Saki. Saki's great, but Tam and Natsupoi were on point in this match with a lot of their combo offense. And God's Eye continuously looks strong as a trio, especially Shuri, Mirai, Amisore. They're a very strong trio, and it definitely showed in this match. But both teams looked really strong. But unfortunately for Natsupoi, it came down to her suffering at the hands of a submission from Shuri, kind of a modified stretch muffler, which I forgot what the name of that particular submission was for Shuri. but she made Natsupoi submit. And Abarimbo GE is your first team to make it to the finals of the Stardom Triangle Derby 1. So they punched their ticket to the finals. But great match overall between Cosmic Angels and God's Eye. All right. They kept the flow going into the second knockout round match, the second semifinals match, which had the teams of Power Passion Pineapple, which is made up of Nene Takahashi, Yu, and Yuna Mizumori, taking on the current Artist of Stardom champions, Prominence, made up of Risa Sera, Suzu Suzuki, and Kurumi Hiragi. Now, Prominence went in early on the preemptive attack on Power Passion Pineapple. They didn't waste any time at all. And both of these teams brawled early, inside the ring, outside the ring, all of the above. But these two teams brawled early. And the energy and action continued throughout the entire match. Like, I don't think there was much of a break in the match. But both teams came into the knockout round very strong. And it definitely showed in this match. But when it was all said and done, two things ended up happening. Number one, Suzu Suzuki gets the pin for Prominence, hitting Yuna Mizumori with a tequila shot. They punched their ticket to the finals. And two, Prominence, after winning this match, going to the finals, they decided to raise the stakes as they're going to be facing a Barimbo GE in the finals. And they even offered to put the Artist of Stardom championships on the line in the finals. So the stakes have been raised for the finals. So not only is it for winning the tournament, but for also the Artist of Stardom championships. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, being that the champs won the semifinal match to punch their ticket into the finals. Typically, you would think that the winner of the tournament would win a title shot, but I can understand in this circumstance being that one of the finalists were the Artists of Stardom champs. So it makes sense. It makes sense. So the finals are set. Abarimbo GE versus Prominence. All right, let's continue on. Next up, we had a special singles match. We had the Jumbo Princess versus Big Hosh. That's right. Jumbo Princess Himeka of Donna Del Mundo taking on Chihiro Hashimoto from the Sendai Girls promotion. And I have to say, this was a hard-hitting match as expected. I mean, you have two power fighters in this match, so I expected it to be hard-hitting. But just wow. Wow. Like, these ladies definitely went all out. They were hitting each other with everything. And it seemed like both were even struggling to try to knock the other to the mat. But very much hard hitting. Enjoyed it from start to finish. Although I was kind of surprised with the ending. I was a little surprised with the ending because I did not think it was going to come down to a submission victory. But after a couple attempts, Big Hosh submits the Jumbo Princess with an ankle lock to pick up the victory. Chihiro Hashimoto submits Himeka. It's kind of a bummer, but I was hoping it would be a draw. But I mean, I can kind of understand. I mean, it's Big Hosh. Now, of course, after the match, Big Hosh called out Shuri. So it looks like next on her radar is the match with Shuri. Shihiro Hashimoto, which Shuri originally started this whole feud in the first place after she called out Big Hosh at Stardom Dream Queendom 2 after she lost the red belt to Julia. So it was only a matter of time before Big Hosh and Shuri would happen. Big Hosh recently defeated Mirai. Then she defeated Himeka. Well, Shuri is up next. And if I remember correctly, I believe they are going to have that match at All-Star Grand Queendom in Yokohama, which I believe that is April 23rd. Yeah, I believe that's April 23rd. So that's going to be big. That's going to be really big. Yep, April 23rd in Yokohama Arena. All righty. All right, how about some championship matches? They started some championship matches. First, the Wonder of Stardom Championship, as the Golden Phoenix, Saya Kamitani, defended against Hazuki of Stars. And I have to say, this was definitely my favorite match of the card. I really enjoyed the mess out of this match. First off, Hazuki not only came to the ring with new gear, but also new theme. So that kind of caught me off guard. But wow, this match was insane. I can't even count how many times both these ladies hit each other with pump kicks, and Hazuki hit Saya with so many face washes. And I think overall, just hard-hitting, high-flying. These ladies hit each other with pretty much everything. But the Golden Phoenix would not be denied, as it pretty much came down to, it was interesting. It came down to 5. I counted 5 total Star Crushers. It was either 4 or 5, but I remember counting 5. 5 Star Crushers, a Firebird Splash. It took a lot for Saya to put away Hazuki. And the crazy thing is, hit Star Crushers. With one, Hazuki kicked out. She did a second. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was 4. I think it was 4 total, now that I think about it. But I remember she hit a Star Crusher. Hazuki kicked out. She hit another one, kind of like mid-move. Saya went up, hit the Firebird Splash. Hazuki kicked out, and Saya put her away after hitting 2 more Star Crushers. Crazy. Really, really crazy. And Hazuki definitely hit Saya with a lot. I mean, Brainbuster, Twisting Brainbuster. I mean, she was hitting her with everything. All sorts of pinning combinations. Because you got to remember, Hazuki not only pinned Saya previously, but also made her tap out as well. If I remember correctly, yeah, made her tap out as well. If I remember correctly. But yeah. But the Golden Phoenix would not be denied in this incredible title defense. And now, Saya Kamitani has reeled in 15 successful defenses of the Wonder Stardom Championship And she has now been champion for 429 days. The Golden Phoenix still flies. Saya Kamitani's on a roll. But then the unthinkable happened after this incredible match. She called out Mina Shirakawa and wants to defend the title against her at All-Star Grand Queendom in April at Yokohama. This kind of bugged me because honestly, with that happening, that totally changes my outlook on the upcoming Cinderella tournament. Because I honestly wanted Mina Shirakawa to win the Cinderella tournament and then wish for a white belt match with Saya. But, I mean, dang, if she's going to get the title match in April anyway, then, I mean, is there any point to her winning the Cinderella tournament now? So it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. But, I mean, it is what it is. I was really hoping that Mina would win the Cinderella tournament and then go on to challenge Saya and win. Which, the only thing I can say now is maybe Mina will still win, dethrone Saya Kamitani in April. But now that just leaves my thoughts on who could win the Cinderella tournament wide open. So that was the only thing. Like I said, it's kind of a mid to like minor to major sort of point that I'm making, but at least we know Mina is going to get her shot. She's going to get her shot again. She lost the first time. Now she's going to get a second shot, and I think she'll win it. Okay, next up, we had an incredible high-speed championship match as the champion, Azumi of Queen's Quest, defends against Starlight Kid of Oedo Tai. And you have to remember, these two ladies go way, way, way back, ever since the early days of Stardom. Not only that, you have to remember, Azumi was who originally dethroned Starlight Kid to win the high-speed title for her second reign. So these two ladies meet yet again. Another run back. And it was very much action-packed. High speed, a lot of submission attempts as well. And just these ladies going at it. But it doesn't surprise me. These two know each other very well. I think Azumi tried to do the Azumi sushi at least a good 4 or 5 times in this match. And even Starlight Kid countered an Azumi sushi with one of her own. So it was crazy. It was really crazy. A lot of counter wrestling with the high speed, which is normal, especially for these two ladies. And Azumi had attempted to lock in the numero uno a few times, but it took a while. But one final time, and she was able to really cinch it in, was able to get Starlight Kid to submit to a final attempt of the numero uno. Made her submit, and Azumi, with her 10th defense of her second reign of the high-speed championship, and is now been champ for 374 days. So just a little over a year for her and a good bit over a year for Saya Kamitani. Wow, those two ladies of Queen's Quest looking very strong. And with Azumi, I gotta keep it real with you. I have no idea who's gonna end up dethroning her. I have no idea. But remember, Saki Kashima still has a high-speed title shot owed to her for winning the recent oh man, what was it? There was a recent type of match that she won. I have to look back at the archives, but there was a match that she won. I think it was a gauntlet. If I remember correctly, it was a gauntlet. It was a gauntlet. She ended up winning. It was a gauntlet where you could challenge for, you get a free title shot of any title of your choice. Saki Kashima won, and she decided to pick the High Speed Championship. So, who knows? I guess maybe Saki Kashima will get her title shot at All-Star Grand Queendom. But let's also keep in mind that Azumi also has a date with Mercedes Moné for the IWGP Women's Championship at Sakura Genesis. So, yeah, I believe that's where they're going to have that. That is at Sakura Genesis. So, Azumi's going to be busy defending her title as well as challenging for a new title. So, got to give it up for Azumi. She's looking good. Okay, next up, we had the World of Stardom Championship on the line, as we have two ladies, Ice Ribbon alumni. We have the champion, Donna Del Mondo's leader, Julia, defending against Maya Yukihi. Whew. First, to kind of set the tone, these two hate each other's guts. Now, as I said, they're both Ice Ribbon alumni. They've had 3 matches, specifically in Ice Ribbon, against each other. Maya Yukihi won all 3. And they've talked so much junk to each other. I think Julia has gone behind Maya's back. Either that or vice versa. Or one or the other. But both these ladies hate each other. And from what it seemed like when Maya Yukihi entered Stardom and even entered into the Triangle Derby, didn't seem like Julia expected it at all. But at the same time, it was Julia that pushed Maya to challenge for the World of Stardom Championship. But yeah, and this, I mean, Julia and Suzu Suzuki's beef is pretty big, very personal. This exploded immediately, right even before introductions, as Rossi Ogawa was in the ring, had the belt, was getting ready to do the pre-match picture. But then Julia just took the belt and decked Maya Yukihi with it. And just started beating her down. Bell eventually rang. And these two ladies continuously beat the mess out of each other. In the ring, outside the ring. They were outside of the ring at least 4 or 5 different times throughout this whole match. Just destroying each other. It got so bad and personal, like both ladies were shoving the ref away. When the ref tried to break things up, they would both just shove away the ref, like different times. And I mean, just they were slapping each other. Maya Yuki slapped Julia a bunch of times. Julia kept on headbutting Maya. She was taking kicks. They were both taking kicks. Both got driven through tables. And they just kept beating the mess out of each other so badly that I don't even think they cared anymore about the idea of the red belt being on the line. They just were out for blood, and they were out to destroy each other to the point where this match ended outside of the ring in a draw double countout. Like I said, it just got to the point where they didn't care. They just wanted to destroy each other. Bump the title. They just wanted to destroy each other. So ended in a double count out. But I'm convinced that it's not over between these two. Oh, no. No. It is definitely not over between these two. But I think at some point, I don't know when, but I think at some point, Mayu Yuki's going to get a rematch for the title. I really do. Now, after this match, Tam Nakano came out and challenged Julia for a World of Stardom championship match at All-Star Grand Queendom, April 23rd, Yokohama. Now, we got to remember, Tam Nakano was who originally dethroned Julia to win the Wonder of Stardom Championship. And now she's getting an opportunity to face her again, but for the bigger prize, the World of Stardom Championship. It's good to see that rivalry get renewed. And you know what? I got to give it up for Julia. You know, she's coming out swinging. I mean, dethroning Shuri to win the title. Recently defended against Suzu Suzuki. Just defended against Maya Yukihi. Like, she's actually, like, getting some big matches for her title defenses. And now, Tam Nakano incoming. So, I got to give her credit. You know, definitely looking good. And then the main event came down to the Stardom Triangle Derby 1 finals. This is what this whole tournament comes down to. As your finalists, Abarimbo GE, which is Shuri, Mirai, Ami Sourei, taking on Prominence, Risa Sera, Suzu Suzuki, Kurumi Hiragi, with the Artist of Stardom championships on the line as well. And while I still wouldn't pick this match over the Wonder of Stardom championship, this was still a solid match. I wish it could have gone longer, but it was still a solid match. Both teams looked really good. I found it interesting that Risa Sera was trying to get a chair involved early in the match, which, of course, you know, it's not a hardcore match, but it still came into play, you know, with the referee distracted and everything like that. But both teams looked really great. It was definitely back and forth. But when it was all said and done, Prominence reigns supreme as Suzu Suzuki pins Mirai with a rolling German suplex, and Prominence not only retains the Artist of Stardom championships, but they are your first ever Stardom Triangle Derby champions. They win the first ever Triangle Derby. So congratulations to Prominence, not only raising the stakes and winning the tournament, but also successfully defending the titles. So I had a lot of fun covering this tournament. Like I said, this was Stardom's first ever Triangle Derby. I felt like it was definitely a success. Kudos to all the teams that competed. I mean, there were 14 teams, so very stacked. But overall, great tournament, great finish, Prominence on top. And I couldn't help but notice after they did their speech, then they did their backstage post-match interview, Queen's Quest, Azumi, Utami, and Saya came out, and it looks like they are challenging Prominence for a shot at the Artist of Stardom championships, which you have to also keep in mind. Queen's Quest beat Prominence during the preliminaries of this tournament. Because remember, Prominence was 5-2, with one of their losses being against Queen's Quest. So I can understand why Queen's Quest is laying down the challenge for the Artist of Stardom championships. So we'll have to see what happens, because the full card hasn't been set yet for All-Star Grand Queendom. And as a matter of fact, so far, the only matches that they have set for All-Star Grand Queendom are the World of Stardom Championship, Julia versus Tam Nakano, the Wonder of Stardom Championship, Saya Kamitani versus Mina Shirakawa, and Shuri versus Chihiro Hashimoto. Those are the only matches so far that have been booked for All-Star Grand Queendom. Now, like I said, I got a feeling probably Azumi versus Saki Kashima for the high-speed belt will probably happen at this event. I know also, if I remember correctly, I think Lady C, I believe, has a Future of Stardom championship opportunity. So she'll challenge Ami Sourei, which they may have at this show, unless they decide to do it at New Blood Premium. They might do it at New Blood Premium, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. But you know, there's still much to see. I mean, like I said, it's only March 4th. All-Star Grand Queendom isn't until April 23rd, so we got a ways to go before that show. So still plenty of time to build this card. But like I said, overall, oh yeah, almost forgot. Himeka's retirement match. That's right. Himeka versus Maika. Himeka's retirement match. I forgot. That's also going to be at All-Star Grand Queendom. So we got 4 matches booked so far. So there you go. I knew I was missing something. But yeah, so we got those 4 booked so far. But like I said, keep an eye out. As time passes, there are going to be some more matches. So should be great. But great tournament. But yeah, so that concludes the coverage on Stardom. Let's jump right quick to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, as they got 2 big shows coming up. We got the TJPW Grand Princess coming up March 18th at the Tokyo Ariake Coliseum. And they've already got the full card for that show. Yeah, they got the full card. So there's 8 matches for this. And as it gets closer to the show, I'll do an official preview, giving my predictions. But what they have on the card, they got a singles match, Suzume versus Arisu Endo. Of course, both ladies, former members of Daisy Monkey, going to square off against each other. So that ought to be interesting. But Arisu Endo versus Suzume. We also got a 6-woman tag team match, as we have the team of Nao Kakuta, Ram Kaichow, and Hikari Noah taking on the team of Pam Harajuku, Raku, and Yuki Aino. So that ought to be interesting. I feel like that could go either way. But we'll see what happens. We also got an interesting tag team match, as we got the team of Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao. Of course, these two were finalists in the recent tag team tournament, the Max Heart Tournament 3 that recently took place last month. They were the finalists, but they got dethroned by Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito. But at Grand Princess, they will team up and take on the team of Haruna Neko and Andre the Giant Panda. Andre the Giant Panda, which I guess it could be anybody. I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah. I guess I'll have to wait until it gets closer to the show. And then we got some title matches as well. We got the International Princess Championship on the line as Miyu Watanabe will face her tag team partner, the White Dragon, Rika Tatsumi. That should be a really good match. Really good match. Of course, Rika Tatsumi recently won the TJPW recent tournament that took place. Queen, I think it was called Princess of the Decade a while back, and Rika Tatsumi won that tournament. It was a one night only pay-per-view, one night only tournament. So yeah, Rika Tatsumi, Miyu Watanabe, International Princess Championship. That should be good. And then we also have we got another tag team match. Very interesting tag team match. We got the team of Saki-sama and Mei Saint Michelle, aka Saki Akai and Mei Saruga, taking on the team of Yuki Kamifuku and Billy Starks. I think this is going to be a really good match, actually. Should be good. Both Kamiyu and Saki-sama are pretty similar in height, but I think Saki-sama is a little bit taller than Kamiyu. But this should be a great match, actually. Billy Starks, she's been having some great matches on TJPW and getting showcased quite a bit in Japan. So I think this will be a great match. And then we got a special singles match. We have Yuki Arai taking on Aja Kong. Whoo! That's going to be quite a challenge for Yuki Arai, but it'll be interesting to see how she does against the Joshi legend. But yeah, that's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. We also have I believe the Princess Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. It doesn't say that in the graphic, but I'm pretty sure the titles are going to be on the line. But Wasteland War Party, Heidi Howitzer, Max the Impaler, take on the winners of the Max Heart Tournament 3, Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito. Now, recently, Wasteland War Party defended the Princess Tag Team Championships in the United States via DPW in North Carolina, via DPW you already know, successfully for the first time ever in the United States. And I was there live for that match. They defended successfully against Rachel Rose and Jada Stone. It was a great match, really great match. But they returned to Japan and will take on Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito. Should be really good. Should be really good. I can't wait for that match. And then, of course, the main event, a match that I'm looking extremely forward to, the Princess of Princess Championship, as both team members of the Magical Sugar Rabbits will face each other. Best friends, the Magical Sugar Rabbits, the champion, the magical girl, Yuka Sakazaki, defending against the Popping Sugar Rabbit, Mizuki, her tag team partner, her best friend. Ooh. This is going to be rather interesting. Now, these two have also teamed up still with each other in previous shows, even leading up to now. And they're also going to team up in the Los Angeles show, March 31st, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But at Grand Princess, these two will do battle with each other. And it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Like, see if any attitudes come out during this match, which I'm pretty sure that will happen. But hopefully it doesn't lead to the splitting of the Magical Sugar Rabbits, because this is still a great team. I love this team. Magical Sugar Rabbits are awesome. So I hope this doesn't split them, but you best believe this is going to be an incredible match. This is definitely going to be an incredible match. But that's your card for TJPW Grand Princess. Like I said, that's on March 18th. And I'll do a full-on preview as it gets closer to the date. But the main thing now is, so they just announced the full card for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Live in Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull that up. So yeah, we got a lot. So we have, so first out, pretty much this show is almost sold out. The only tickets that are left are general admission standing room. But all the other seats, all the other rows have sold out. But yeah, this show will be, so it's TJPW live in Los Angeles, their first ever show in the States. This will be on Friday, March 31st at the Globe Theater in Los Angeles, California, during WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend. But the card that they have 6 matches. So 6 matches total. They have a singles match, Yuki Kamifuku versus the Kick Demon, Janai Kai. Oh, that ought to be interesting. Kamiyu versus the Kick Demon. That's going to be really interesting. I don't think that's a matchup that's ever happened before. So I'm actually very intrigued with this matchup. Definitely intrigued. And then we also have, we have another great one. We have the White Dragon, Rika Tatsumi, taking on Billy Starks. That's going to be really good. Because like I said, Billy Starks has been tearing it up. And, Rika Tatsumi, the White Dragon, she's been a main eventer in TJPW. So this ought to be really, really good. All right. We also got some tag team matches as well. We have the team of Hikari Noah and Nao Kakuta taking on Daisy Monkey, Suzume and Arisa Endo. So I guess Daisy Monkey's gonna team up in the LA show. Oh, okay. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm down. I'm totally down. Should be good. And then we have, this is an interesting tag team match. We have the team of Raku and Yuki Aino taking on an interesting pairing of Trish Adora and Hyper Misao. Interesting tag team there. Trish Adora teaming up with Hyper Misao. Yeah, that's really interesting. That is really interesting. As a matter of fact, I need to also put this in the Discord. Okay. Okay. We got another tag team match as well. We got the team of Shoko Nakajima and Miyu Watanabe taking on the Wasteland War Party, Max the Impaler, Heidi Howitzer. Who knows? Maybe this could turn into Princess Tag title match, depending on if Wasteland War Party retains at Grand Princess. But we'll see. And then it looks like the main event, I'm guessing the main event is going to be special tag team match, as Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito will take on the Magical Sugar Rabbits, the Magical Girl, Yuka Sakazaki, Popping Sugar Rabbit Mizuki. So that ought to be really good. Definitely a worthy main event. But yeah, so that's your official card for TJPW Live in Los Angeles, and they're also part of the WrestleCon convention that weekend, and they're also going to be doing meet and greet. Oh man, I'm so jealous. But I hope any that get a chance to go, I hope they have fun. Hopefully they enjoy the show. Like I said, TJPW's first show in the States. So hope as many people as possible take advantage. But hey, with balcony, opera, and rows 1 through 5 sold out, looks like a lot of people are taking up on that offer. So good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay. Going to talk a little bit of New Japan Pro Wrestling, as it just they're getting ready to start the New Japan Cup. The first set of matches will begin tomorrow, March 5th. And they also set the full card for, they set the full card for the New Japan Pro Wrestling 51st anniversary show, which will also have a couple of New Japan Cup matches. But I'll just go over the card right quick. But this will, let me see, where is this one taking place? This will be at the Ota City General Gymnasium in Tokyo, Japan, Monday, March 6th. But yeah, looking at the card, so got a tag team match. We got TMDK's Zack Sabre Jr. and Kosei Fujita teaming up to take on Bullet Club's Kenta and El Phantasmo. Of course, Zack Sabre Jr., the current NJPW World Television Champion, and of course Kenta, the strong openweight champion. But yeah, that should be a good match. Should be a really good match. We also got looks like we have a 6-man tag as well, as we have the team of Tamatanga, Toru Yano, and Satoshi Kojima. Ooh, interesting pairing. And they're going to be taking on United Empire, Aussie Open's Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Will Ospreay. That should be really good. Should be really good. We also have another 6-man tag match, as Strong Style, the current never openweight 6-man tag team champs, Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Ren Narita, known as Strong Style. And they'll be taking on House of Torture, made up of Evil, Sho, and Dick Togo. Oh, man, I hope House of Torture loses. Sick of House of Torture. Let's see. The fourth match, we got another trios, where we have the team of, we got LIJ's Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, and Sonata taking on United Empire's Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, and Aaron Hanare. Ooh. LIJ versus United Empire. Should be good. Should be really good. Let's see. We got a Super Junior tag team match here, as we have the team of Chaos made up of Lio Rush and Yo. Remember, Lio Rush and Yo won the Super Junior Tag League. And they're going to be taking on LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi. Okay. Hiromu Takahashi, the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. That should be really good. Should be really good. Let's see. And then we have one of the New Japan Cup matches, first round matches. We got Shota Umino versus Yujiro Takahashi. That should be good. Should be a pretty good opening round match for the New Japan Cup. And then we got another one, David Finlay versus Tomohiro Ishii. And like I said, I got a feeling with David Finlay turning heel, this New Japan Cup tournament might be where he shines bright. Maybe even as far as making it to the finals or even winning it. We'll have to wait and see. But it's looking to make a statement, that's for sure. And then we actually have a championship match for the main event, as the IWGP Tag Team Championships will be on the line. And this is a big one. The champs, Bishamon, made up of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, will defend against pretty much, I guess you could say, the NJPW version of the Mega Powers, Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, and the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Whoo, man. That's going to be crazy. That's a crazy main event. But 51st anniversary of NJPW, that's your main event. But yeah, I'll do a separate video review for that. But yeah, should be good. Should be really good. But that'll be Monday. But like I said, the New Japan Cup kicks off tomorrow, Sunday. So a lot to look forward to there. Okay. So that should do it for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Also, got to show some love for ROH. ROH TV is back. I mean, it's via Honor Club, but still, they are back and now doing TV tapings and streaming them live via Honor Club. So glad to see ROH is back doing their thing. And I have to say, it actually started off with quite a bang. I mean, they did all sorts of matchups to start off ROH. I mean, they had Konosuke Takeshita versus Josh the Good Woods. That was really good. They had the NJPW World Television Championship on the line as Zack Sabre Jr. successfully defended against Blake Christian, which was quite a clash of styles. Quite a clash of styles. Technician versus High Flyer. It was a great match. Great solid match. You had the Infantry versus the Kingdom. The Infantry made up of Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo, which I think, I don't know how long ago they've been teaming up, but I think that was pretty much my first time seeing them as a tag team. And it makes sense. Both, served in the military. So, I mean, it makes sense. But, of course, the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, of course, Maria Kanellis Bennett with them. Kingdom looking strong. Mark Briscoe started off the show. I thought that was pretty cool. Had a singles match with Slim J. We got to see the ROH six-man tag team champs. Even though they didn't put the titles on the line, they were showcased. They had a match, so I thought that was really cool. Lady Frost versus Willow Nightingale was actually a really good match. Good to see Lady Frost hit a beautiful moonsault in that match as well. But it was really good to see those two go at it. You had let's see. You had Claudio Castagnoli. First episode defends the ROH World Championship against AR Fox. Was a great match. So that was quite a way to start things off with ROH. And not only that, but got quite a lot to look forward to, in future tapings, because we're going to be seeing the ROH Pure Championship defended. Wheeler Yuta is going to be defending against Timothy Thatcher. So got that to look forward to. They're probably going to post that next week. And Christopher Daniels versus Rohit Raju. That one was really good. But I have to say, they're starting off pretty well. We're going to eventually get Willow Nightingale versus Athena for the ROH Women's Championship. So they're really starting off hot. They're starting off hot with these ROH tapings. And like I said, there'll be more to come. So I can't wait. So, we saw some New Japan Pro Wrestling talent. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. defended the TV title. So, I can't wait to see what more talent they have on these Ring of Honor TV tapings. May see some faces. Tony Deppen, I believe, is going to be getting a shot at the ROH World Television Championship, which Samoa Joe has. So got that to look forward to. But yeah, should be good. It's a lot to look forward to. I ended up resubscribing to Honor Club when they started back up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out some ROH TV on Honor Club as they continue to put out more episodes, which I think it seems like, I don't know if they're going to do them in 2-hour batches or 1.5-hour batches, but I think it's definitely going to be great. They're off to a great start, and I really can't wait to see what other matchups we get. So welcome back, ROH TV. Good stuff. The Big Sheep, thank you for the sub. Hey, brother, I just want to let you know that you're my go-to for Joshi Wrestling, and you're basically my comfort channel on YouTube. Keep up the good stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you for the sub, and I'm glad you are enjoying the content. And by all means, do share with me, who are your favorites? What promotions, what Joshi promotions do you like? Who are your Joshi faves? I would love to hear from you. So, once again, welcome back, ROH TV. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about WWE. So, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my absolute best to get excited about WrestleMania, but I got to be honest with y'all. I'm struggling. I'm really, really struggling. I'm struggling so badly to get excited about WrestleMania. The Big Sheep says, Tam Nakano all day, but it pains me that she'll probably never win the red belt. Well, I wouldn't say that. She might not win in this first attempt, but I think she is due for a red belt shot or a red belt title run. I think she eventually will. Tam Nakano has been on the rise over the years. I mean, we got to remember, she dethroned Julia for the white belt originally. My main thing that really disappointed me was I didn't like how small of a tag title run that Meltier had. I was really disappointed with that because Meltier was hot. So I was really disappointed with that. But I honestly do believe Tam Nakano is due for a red belt run at some point. She might not beat Julia in April the first time around, but I really think she's due for a red belt run. Tam Nakano has been great over the last handful of years, especially since establishing Cosmic Angels. I think it'll eventually come. I really do. I don't know when, but I think she will eventually win the red belt. So stay confident. Stay confident. Keep your head up. I think it's really going to happen. I think it'll eventually happen. Just like, as crazy as it sounds, I think Azumi will eventually win the red belt. I think she'll eventually win the red belt. Maybe Maika, but it might be a long while. I could definitely see Maika winning the white belt at some point. But I mean, Stardom is loaded with talent. So I mean, it'll be hard to say who's going to be the one to dethrone Julia. But I mean, Stardom is loaded with talent. So I mean, we got the Cinderella tournament coming up, which is going to have 36 competitors. Like, I'm very curious to see who those last two competitors will be, which I think one of them I think will be Kairi, because of the fact that Kairi has actually never won a Cinderella tournament. And I mean, after all, she don't have a belt right now. You know, she lost the IWGP Women's title to Mercedes, but Kairi's never won a Cinderella tournament. So it would not surprise me if she's one of the mystery entrants in this year's Cinderella tournament. But yeah. But yeah, I really feel like Tam will eventually get it. I hope Mai Saruga is in it, but if she was in it, I don't think she'd be an ex-entrant. Well, as cool as it would be to see her in it, yeah, there's no telling who it could be. Although, I mean, Mai Saruga's had a presence on Stardom before. I mean, she had one of my favorite matches of last year in the high-speed title match against Azumi, which she came so close to winning. And I actually got a chance to meet Mai Saruga when she came to DPW twice. So yeah. But I mean, I would love Mai Saruga to be in it. I don't think it'll be her, but I would not be mad if she was in it. I would not be mad at all. So WrestleMania. I'm sorry, but I can't get excited just yet. Especially when Brock Lesnar versus Omos is on the card for WrestleMania. Like, I can't get excited just yet. I mean, we all know Cody. We're going to get Cody versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, which, I mean, but the thing with that is, does Cody win, or do they decide to have Roman win and hit that 1,000-day mark as champ? So that's where it's kind of a crossroad. Do they have Cody Rhodes dethrone Roman Reigns, or do they have Roman Reigns retain and hit that 1,000-day as champion mark? You know. The Big Chief says, "You're not an Homo sapien, bro." Oh no, I can't stand Omos. Nah, I can't stand Omos. I mean, he got carried in the tag team with AJ Styles. I mean, wasn't really a great tag team, even though they were champs. But just almost like a big number of his matches have been squashed. And just honestly, I would have felt like if he got built up more through, say, NXT before the main roster. But honestly, I don't think he's good. I just don't think he's good. You know, but that's just me. But I just don't think he's good. But Brock Lesnar, Omos, just like, really? Brock Lesnar versus Omos? Like, but then again, Brock Lesnar supposedly is, only has a little bit of time left because word is he's supposed to be finishing up things in WWE, and then I don't know what's going to happen. Omos just needs one cool move, and he'd be awesome, to be honest. One cool move? I mean, the dude barely runs the ropes, and I mean, yeah, he does the usual strikes and, does the little choke bomb, but it's like, he doesn't do much. He barely even runs the ropes. He doesn't do much. Just seems like one of the slow giant wrestlers. He doesn't do much. And it's kind of pitiful that somebody like AJ Styles was teamed up with him in order for him to even have a title. I mean, you had AJ Styles and you had Omos as a team. Like, and even at that, it's a random team. It's a random team, which, when it comes to tag team wrestling, I'm not too big on random teams. The Big Sheep says, AJ been getting played a lot in the past few years. I feel like it's been kind of off and on, but I do see your point. It's just been a bummer that, he's had some unlucky breaks, especially recently injury-wise. So, yeah. And I'm not sure what's going to end up happening with the whole OC and all that. Just, yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see once he comes back to full health. So far, really the only match that I'm looking forward to is the Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair versus Asuka, because I feel like Asuka's finally going to get her one WrestleMania victory that she still has yet to get. And then she's pretty much sealed her legacy in the WWE. There's pretty much, that would be it. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I mean, hopefully Rhea can get her revenge from a long time ago. That'd be cool. That'd be nice. But we'll see. Rhea Ripley's been on a roll. I can't even remember the last time Rhea Ripley's been pinned, but she's been on a roll. So I mean the ladies' matches, are intriguing, but it's still got a lot to build up on. And I mean, March just arrived, and I know WrestleMania is April 1st and 2nd, so they still, but they only got less than a month left, so they gotta get to it. They gotta really get to it. So Becky Lynch and Lita in the main event of this past Monday Night Raw become new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, dethroning Dakota Kai and Io Sky. With the help of Trish Stratus. Honestly, number one, I'm glad the titles are finally off of Damage Control because they've been a weak faction since they were established. But honestly, I feel like if they were going to do all that, why couldn't they just have Lita and Trish win the tag titles? You know, like Trish came back and got involved. And I just feel like, I mean, we got to remember Lita and Becky Lynch. I mean, we got to remember these two went up against each other previously. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I feel like maybe Trish and Lita as tag champs would have looked better. But I mean, it's whatever. But that's the thing. Like these last handful of tag team champions for the ladies have been just random tag teams. Becky Lynch, Lita, random tag team. You know, so it's just, but at least they're off of Damage Control. The Big Sheep says, Damage Control is great on paper, but they don't click for me. So the talent, I love the talent. Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai. But them as a faction, just as a faction, they're pretty weak. I mean, Bayley can't seem to win the big one. I mean, her last 5 title shots, she's lost. And that includes before she got injured. Her last 5 title shots were losses. So that says something. Not to mention when you have folks like Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair easily able to fight off all 3 members of Damage Control, that's not a good look. Especially with the talent in that faction, that's not a good look. Dakota Kai and Io barely even defended the titles in both of their title reigns. You know, and just Dakota Kai's been in tag team purgatory her whole WWE career. And like I said, Io shines brighter as a single star. But hopefully with the titles off of them, hopefully now Dakota Kai and Io Sky can do a lot more singles wrestling. And I guess it looks like they're going to build up Bayley versus Trish Stratus, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. But at least I'm happy the titles are off them. But Becky Lynch, Lita, another random tag team that are champs. So, but I heard word that they're probably going to be transition champs. And perhaps Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler will dethrone them, but we'll see. The Big Sheep says, been waiting on that Dakota Kai NXT title run for years, man. You and me both. You and me both. And I honestly thought she was going to have at least one run. But the best that they give her are 2 NXT Tag Team Championship runs that got ended on the first time defenses. It's crazy. It's crazy. But, and I love Dakota Kai. I watched her work in the Indies as Evie. I watched her work in Stardom. You know, she's former Artist of Stardom champion. Like, you know, Dakota Kai is great. I even loved how she performed in the Mae Young Classic. You know, she's a great wrestler. But we'll see what happens. But it's just, hopefully things will start to turn around for them on the main roster. But I don't know. I really don't know. I will say, this past NXT was actually a very solid NXT. Nathan Frazier versus Wes Lee for the North American title was awesome. I mean, these two look great, just back and forth. And it went the distance, especially for that being the first match. That was quite a way to kick off NXT this past Tuesday. Great match from both of these gentlemen. And, Wes Lee got the victory, but, man, Nathan Frazier looked really strong in his return, which is so good to have him back. I believe he was dealing with visa issues. That's why we hadn't seen him in a while, but what a way to come back and put on an incredible match with Wes Lee for the title. Great match. That was definitely my favorite match of this past Tuesday's NXT, for sure. Also, really enjoyed Meiko Satomura versus Zoe Stark. Definitely enjoyed that match. Zoe has been killing it, especially the opportunities she's had to take on Joshi's. I mean, she's been against Meiko Satomura. She's been against Sakurai. Zoe Stark, I really hope she gets a title run. Of course, she was, tag team champs with Io Sky, but I would love to see Zoe Stark with a singles title run, whether it be on NXT or down the road on the main roster. But I've been a fan of Zoe Stark pretty much since the beginning. So have a lot of hope for her. I like her. I like, of course, Meiko Satomura. I like Lyra Valkyria. But yeah, definitely those two ladies had a great match. And of course, remember, we got Roxanne Perez that's going to defend her women's title at NXT Roadblock against Meiko Satomura. And we got to remember, Meiko and Roxanne have faced each other before. Meiko beat her. So this is the rematch. This is the run back. Title on the line. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what a legend Meiko Satomura does in the rematch against the young, up and rising Roxanne Perez. Roxy and the final boss. The prodigy and the final boss. I can't wait. That's going to be a great match. Sol Ruka, I have to say, they've been giving her a handful of matches lately between NXT and NXT Level Up or Next Level, that other side show. But she's been getting a lot of matches lately. Really been showcased very well. So definitely love seeing that. Tall, athletic, got some high flying capabilities. Tiffany Stratton's back. And I have to say, even though I'm not a fan of Tiffany Stratton, she has a great BME. That best moonsault ever that she pulls off excellent. She has a great moonsault. I will give her that. I'm just not a fan of the whole bimbo Barbie gimmick, whatever. But she's been improving. Been looking good. And looks like she could be the next one up to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. Whether Roxy has it or Meiko has it. And I have to also say, Tyler Bate versus Carmelo Hayes was also really, really excellent. Even though I can't stand the interference from Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes still killing it. And him and the big strong boy had a great match. And he beat him. He beat Tyler Bate. So they're definitely really building up Carmelo Hayes in a big way. And honestly, more and more, I'm convinced that Carmelo Hayes may be the one to dethrone Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. I'm convinced that he may be the one to dethrone Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes, he's been on a hot streak. So I know he's been having some dark matches on the main roster, but I think Carmelo Hayes is going to end up getting an NXT championship run. I really do. Because he's been killing it in NXT. He was killing it as North American champion, and I think he's got another run this time for the NXT championship. I can't wait. But that was a really good, solid episode of NXT this past Tuesday. I will say that. Definitely a solid episode. I did get a chance to check out some SmackDown, which I guess the idea is that they're going to build up Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, which I'm not sure how to feel about that matchup, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure how to feel. I mean, Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt. I mean, already Bray Wyatt's one of those that, is really kind of used sparingly in matches. We haven't seen him really wrestle much since his return. I mean, he's done, some dark matches, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the matchup. I mean, he ended up dropping Uncle Howdy. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a matchup I'm excited about or a matchup that I hate, but it's a matchup that makes me go, huh. If that makes any sense. The Big Sheep says there's no way Lashley and Bray could be good. I just can't see it. I want to try to keep an open mind about it. It's just like I'm having trouble imagining how it could play out outside of Bray winning, but just trying to imagine how it would play out is where I'm stuck on. You know what I mean? Like I can't really see it. I can't really see it. So I'm gonna keep an open mind about it just because I have no idea. I have no idea how this could go down, but it's gonna be interesting. I also realized, even with the help of Jimmy Uso, still Solo Sikoa undefeated. Yeah, I believe he's still undefeated on the main roster. If I remember correctly, I think he's still undefeated, but beats Sami Zayn. From what I've heard, a lot of folks are pretty upset about this because, Sami Zayn, once again, taking L's since post-Elimination Chamber. So I don't know what they're going to do about that or how exactly, other than him and KO possibly being the ones to dethrone the Usos for the tag titles. I can't really see Sami Zayn getting inserted back into the world title picture anytime soon with Cody getting his shot. But I could be wrong. But I can't see it just yet. They're still looking for an opponent to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania. And apparently they had a brawl with The New Day, Karrion Kross, LA Knight, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. And word is that Kofi Kingston is injured. So I don't know how long he'll be out, but word is that I heard that Kofi Kingston's unfortunately injured. But, I think Gunther is still going to continue to have a dominant Intercontinental Championship run. I think he's been a great champion. And, I think he should have it longer. I think he should definitely have it longer. Just a little longer. Not as long as he had the NXT UK Championship, but a good length. And then Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I think just overall, this is really just going to build up between those two, perhaps having their singles match, and maybe down the line, Dominic dethrones Rey Mysterio, retires him. Probably won't be anytime soon, but I could see that happening. I'm also not really feeling this Santos Escobar face run. At least I'm pretty sure he's a face now, but I don't know. It just feels kind of weird. But I mean, I can understand the respect between him and Rey Mysterio, which I honestly thought perhaps Santos Escobar could be the one to dethrone Rey Mysterio and retire him, but remains to be seen. I mean, Rey is getting up there in age. Still in good shape, though. I will give him that. But he's getting up there in age. But I tell you what, it's going to be an emotional day. The day that Rey Mysterio retires. I can tell you that right now. That's going to be an emotional day. That's for sure going to be an emotional day. Oh, and I also got to mention this. Looks like, according to the dirt sheets and other evidence, it looks like Vince McMahon has weaseled his way back into WWE creative. One piece of evidence is supposedly it was his idea for Brock Lesnar versus Omos. That's what I've heard. That's what the word is. But you know what? We gotta be honest with ourselves. It was eventually gonna happen. I mean, it hadn't even been 6 months. This was eventually gonna happen. Vince McMahon the Big Sheep said it best. Vince don't want to just sit on a beach somewhere or something. You're right. Because honestly, I think WWE is all he has. And I could be way out of left field, but I think that's all he has. That's his baby. Like his father before him. And I believe this was his way. Just everything that went through, the changes to the board of directors, and just him getting back on board. It was a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. And you know what? It's sad. And now, supposedly, going back to the whole selling the WWE, honestly, I don't think he has any desire to sell. I just feel like the supposed $9 billion asking price was just one of those to kind of just throw it out there. No, I'm not going to sell. But if I were to, it would be for this amount of money, an exuberant amount of money, which I think the word is that WWE want to say the net worth is 6 billion, like 5 or 6 billion. I think that's what the word is, but I'm not so sure company's going to pay $9 billion for WWE. I don't see it. The Big Sheep says football and movies both failed him. Wrestling is what he succeeded in, but I'm convinced he hates wrestling by now. Well, I know there's definitely a lot of factors about wrestling he hates. For example, tag team wrestling. Hates that. Doesn't really do his research on talent, that's for sure. But honestly, whatever plan that he had worked. Because he's right back in WWE, almost like he never missed a beat. I mean, yeah, there may not be some sort of like official word or anything posted on the WWE website, but I mean, let's be real. Vince McMahon is back in some big shape or form in the WWE, and it's going to be impactful. So the man did it. It's ridiculous. It's a bummer, but he wasn't going to be gone for long. We just got to keep it real. He wasn't going to be gone for long. It's crazy. So, couple of AEW things before previewing Revolution. Quite a lot to look forward to with Revolution. I know that Powerhouse Hobbs wins the Face of the Revolution ladder match, and also shout out to Commander making his AEW debut. Thought that was really cool. Takeshita was in there as well. It was a pretty brutal ladder match, but Powerhouse Hobbs, it looks like he's going to get a shot at the TNT title. I believe that's what that is, that Face of the Revolution. So he's going to get his shot after Wardlow, or pretty much he's going to get the winner between Samoa Joe and Wardlow. So good for Powerhouse, back in the title picture. So good for him. I was really, really disappointed that even though Best Friends aren't cleared to compete in the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, the fact that Danhausen and Orange Cassidy ended up winning it, come on. Really? Like, out of all teams you could have had as the final team, and it comes down to Orange Cassidy and Danhausen? Orange Cassidy, somebody who already has a title belt, being he just successfully defended the All-Atlantic Championship against Big Bill. But dang, you gonna waste a tag team spot at Revolution by putting them in the Fatal 4-Way tag team title match? Like, what the heck? Like, you could have had Top Flight. Heck, you could have had Aussie Open. I mean, yeah, they weren't going to win, but still. You could have had Aussie Open. You could have had Top Flight. You could have had the Butcher and the Blade. But you settle for Danhausen and Orange Cassidy? Oh, man. Like, oh, man. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, that really rubbed me the wrong way. The Big Sheep says, guy like me would have put Darby and Sting in the tag title match. I think last time, well, they probably would have been back from Japan by now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they would have been back from Japan by now. Now that I think about it. John Elite, what's up? Good to see you. Why are the Gun Club the AEW Tag Champs in the first place? Good question. I wish I knew an answer. I wish I knew an answer. Where's Aussie Open in this? They were in the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, and honestly, being that they've been getting showcased in AEW, they would have been a great fit. I mean, you had the Gun Club, the Guns, you had the Acclaim, you had Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, which, I mean, they've already had a shot. But, I mean, they could have had Top Flight. They could have had Aussie Open. When was the last time the Butcher and the Blade even got a tag title shot? Have they ever had a tag title shot? I don't think the Butcher and the Blade have ever had a tag title shot. Am I missing something? I don't think they've ever had a tag title shot. The Big Sheep says, I don't even dislike the Guns, but they shouldn't be the champs. Oh, 100%. I mean, the Acclaim were hot. The Acclaim were the hot tag team, especially after they dethroned Swerve in Our Glory. Like, they were hot. Butcher and the Blade are the two most played guys in AEW. And it's crazy, too, because for a long time, they had gotten tons and tons of matches. Tons of matches. But where were the tag title opportunities for them? You know, same thing when the hybrid 2. I think they barely got any tag title shots. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. But so ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. Any update on the bunny? Not that I know of. I believe she's still out. I don't think she's cleared yet. It may still be a little while, but I don't believe she's cleared yet. The Big Sheep says, "Oh my God, Jack Evans got packed and smoked by TK on the daily." Yeah, no kidding. But it was good to see him. He had a match back last year via DPW Victory Lap. I was there in person for that. That was a good match. But yeah, just that Casino tag battle royale just really, that was ridiculous. That was really ridiculous. You had multiple legit tag teams, and the team that wins is Danhausen and Orange Cassidy. That's so freaking stupid. That is so stupid. Shoot. I did think it was quite a statement to see House of Black lay out the Elite. I thought that was a pretty big statement. Really, really cool. I'm looking so forward for their match. Riho, my girl Riho, returning to AEW in 2023 with a bang. 2 back-to-back victories against Toni Storm and her teacher, Emi Sakura. Yeah. My girl Riho, back on fire. First ever AEW Women's Champion. Racking up some wins to kick off 2023 for her. So good to see Riho back. Man, just seeing her smile and do her wave. She is such an angel. How can you not like Riho? Did Vince get his hands on creative here? Well, it definitely looks like it, John Elite. Because word is Brock Lesnar versus Omos was all him. Was all him. So that should tell you something, that's for sure. The Big Sheep says Riho only puts on bangers. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I recently saw her match when she teamed up with Kenny Omega back at DDT a long time ago when she was like 12 or 13. Yeah, Riho's an incredible talent. Not to mention, I don't know too many folks that can continue a match and finish strong after a broken collarbone. But Riho is on that list. And that's the thing about Riho. She, even if I didn't see her as much before, Riho gets 100% of my respect going forward after that match at Battle of the Belts with Britt Baker. I don't know too many that can finish a match with a broken collarbone. I'm just saying. But yeah, Riho with back-to-back victories over Toni Storm and Emi Sakura. Riho looks like she's getting back on the rise. Also, well, I told myself that after 50 victories that Jade Cargill was going to get dethroned, and it didn't happen. And I think she's like, what, 52-0 now? So now I'm convinced. Oh, jeez. She might literally end up getting 100 straight victories before she finally loses. My thing is this. When the heck, Tony Khan, are you going to give Jade Cargill some legit opponents? When are you going to give her a Britt Baker, a Hikaru Shida, a Riho, a Toni Storm, a Jamie Hayter? When are you going to start giving her some legit opponents instead of 90% of her victories being squashes? Like, what the heck? The Big Sheep says Chris Stat was meant to beat Jade, I'm sure. And honestly, I think she's still going to be the one to do it. That's why I think they're going to continue her streak until she's fully recovered and returns. But yeah, Chris Statlander, I could definitely see that happening. Jade versus Riho would be sick. Yeah, I just feel like give Jade a real challenge. I think the only real challenges she's had are Nyla Rose, Ruby Soho, and Thunder Rosa. I think those are the only 3 legit challenges she's had in her 50-plus win streak. Jade's been fed either jobbers or mid-card. Exactly. So, I mean, has Jade faced Toni yet? Nope. Jade and Anna Jay had a match on Rampage one time that was a genuine banger. I remember. Was it, refresh my memory, the Big Sheep, was it before was it before Anna Jay turned heel? It was before she turned heel, right? But no, Jade hasn't faced Toni yet. Like, and word is, okay, it was before she was heel. Gotcha. Yeah, actually, yeah. Now that I think of it, yeah, it was before the heel turn. Also, Hikaru Shida is dealing with a minor, I think, finger or hand injury right now. That's why we haven't seen much of Shida on AEW, but word is she's supposed to be returning soon. So keep an eye out for Shida. I think it was the JS turn. Ty Conti. I don't believe. Maybe. Actually, yes. Wait, no. Actually, I don't remember. Wait. Yes. She has faced Jade. Now that I think about it, yes, she has faced Jade. Yeah. If I remember correctly, yes, she has. Ty Conti has faced Jade. Yeah. And if you want to be even more specific, she's faced Madison Rayne, but Madison Rayne's been getting jobbed out. And Madison Rayne, is a longtime veteran. And that's another thing. I don't even know why the heck Madison Rayne keeps getting jobbed out, which I understand she's one of the AEW coaches, but it's kind of ridiculous seeing her getting jobbed. And they got her paired with Sky Blue. It's like, really? Come on. Where's Diamante? Diamante, I think she's only been getting reduced to just dark and elevation matches last I remember. I think she's mainly just been on dark and elevation. Madison Rayne is getting paid, and I respect that. That is true. That is very true. And the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, has said it. He's going to kick MJF's effing head in. So, yeah. Can't wait. Hook did defend the FTW championship against Matt Hardy, but I mean, we all knew how that was going to end. But like I said, it was good to see Emi Sakurai versus Riho, teacher versus student. That was really cool. They're still stirring the pot with Takeshita and Don Callis. That might end up turning into a thing. Some teases here, some, not a whole lot of interaction, but, there's been some teases. And I mean, it was good to see Keith Lee back. And hey, him and Dustin Rhodes pick up the victory over Moga affiliates. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was really good to see that. But yeah, good to see Keith Lee is back. Hopefully he gets showcased again. Let's see. It was good to see Aussie Open showcased again on Rampage, but of course, being that it was Aussie Open, Dark Order, Blackpool Combat Club, and Top Flight, of course, BCC was going to end up picking up the victory, but I would have loved to have seen Aussie Open get a victory at some point on AEW. At some point. John Ali says, what is with MJF giving his opponents a stipulation in order to get a match with him? Doing whatever he can to pretty much be used. I mean, he's pretty much, when you think about it, wrestling equivalent of Roman Reigns in AEW. Although, I would say he's the better wrestler. But, I mean, MJF doesn't really wrestle much. Unless, titles on the line or some sort of stipulation. So. John Lee says, I find it funny that Keith Lee calls himself Limitless, and yet he was limited on the main roster in WWE prior to his release. Yeah. Ridiculous, wasn't it? I mean, so bad brought to the main roster with crappy theme music, and just he had the victory over Randy Orton, and then just yeah, it was ridiculous. His NXT run, legendary. Main roster run, but that's WWE for you. But yeah. Okay. Let's actually look at the card and preview AEW Revolution 2023. This will take place tomorrow, March 5th, at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. And he had a shirt on too. Oh yeah, sure did. Sure did. Good memory. So we got 9 total matches with one pre-show match. One pre-show match. So for the pre-show, so let's do some predictions. The pre-show, we got ourselves a 6-man tag team match. We got Mark Briscoe teaming up with the Lucha Brothers, taking on the team of Ari Daivari and the varsity athletes of Josh the Goods Woods and the premier athlete Tony Nese. Totally picking Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros. Like, just, it looks like such a one-sided match. I mean, come on. It's Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros. I'm totally picking them to pick up this victory, which I'm sure the other team will be showcased pretty well, but gotta give the win to Briscoe and Lucha Brothers for sure. But yeah, that is the pre-show match, which it looks like that'll be the only pre-show match. And then we got the main card. We got ourselves a no-holds-barred match. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. I'm kind of at a crossroads with this one. Because we got to remember, this is Christian Cage's first match back from injury. So, oh man, I'm at a crossroad with this one. This one's tough. John Lee says, so is this basically a buried alive match? They say it's no holds barred, but being that, you know, you had the segment with Jungle Boy digging a grave for Christian Cage, that's probably what it's going to lead to in some way, shape, or form. So you're definitely onto something there. The Big Sheep says, base Christian Cage is going to ruin this dude Jack Perry's whole life. Yeah, and he's definitely been consistent with that. And we know that he's been able to defeat Luchasaurus, which, of course, you know, we haven't seen Luchasaurus in a while. But does he beat Christian Cage? You know what? Even though it's Christian's first match back, I gotta give the edge to Jungle Boy. I think some way, shape, or form he's gonna pull it off. And hopefully, as John Elite says, can we please get this feud over with? Yeah, I'm ready for it to be over with as well. I think it's definitely gone on long enough. And I really want to get a chance to see Jungle Boy inserted into singles title picture. Because we got to remember, Jungle Boy has picked up some victories. I mean, the dude beat Brian Cage, I think, twice? So, I mean, Jungle Boy has picked up some big singles victories. So I think at some point we got to put him in a title picture. TNT, like All Atlantic, like AEW World Championship, like some sort of singles title picture at some point. The sooner the better. But yeah. So I'm gonna go with Jungle Boy. Okay. We got a singles match between Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks. The whole entire Jericho Appreciation Society are banned from ringside. Has Jungle Boy ever challenged for the AEW title before? I don't believe for the main one. I want to say maybe it was when Kenny Omega was champ. I think when Kenny Omega was champ, I think he had one opportunity, maybe two. Oh, okay. The Big Sheep confirmed. Yeah, and Kenny smacked him up. Yeah, I figured he had one. I figured he had one before. I just couldn't remember if it was when Omega was champ or if it was when Mox was champ. But yeah. Good call. Because you got to remember, Kenny Omega, he defended that title against a bunch of folks. But I definitely see Ricky Starks getting the victory over Jericho. Not to say that there won't still be some form of interference. I think there still will be. I think JAS is going to figure out a way to interfere, but I'm still going to say Ricky Starks walks away with the victory. Because they got to continue to build up Ricky Starks. So I'm going Ricky Starks. Okay. We have so we got 4 title matches for AEW Revolution. One that I'm looking so forward to. We got the AEW World Trios Championships on the line as the champs. The Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will defend against the House of Black. Buddy Matthews, Brody King, and Malachi Black. Oh, man. So here's my thing with this one. First of all, I love both teams. I've met the Young Bucks. I've met Brody King. I've met Buddy Matthews. I've met Malachi Black. But I've wanted for the longest time. I originally wanted House of Black to be the first Trios champs. I originally wanted them to be the first Trios champs. Here's what I'm stuck on. I would love for House of Black to win, but something tells me that the Elite might retain and then House of Black gets a shot later on and then they win. I think that is a possibility. John Lee says, what's next for the House of Black if they lose here? If they lose, I do think they will get another shot a little later. Maybe not so much later, but I think they would get another shot down the road. The Big Chief says they go to hell with Miro and try to fight God. Interesting. But hey, I can definitely understand that being, the type of promos that they've had. But you know what? I mean, the Elite are 2-time Trios champs. They had that long best of 7 series with Death Triangle. And of course, they also defended the titles against AR Fox and Top Flight. You know what? I'm gonna take a gamble. House of Black. I'm a bet on Black. Bam. House of Black become new AEW World Trios champs. I'm gonna just go for it. I'm a bet on Black. But it should be a great match. It should be a really great match. Okay, next up, we got a triple threat for the AEW Women's World Championship. We got the champion, Jamie Hayter, defending against Ruby Soho and Saraya. Saraya getting her first title opportunity in AEW, which did not take long at all. But I still believe that Jamie Hayter's going to retain. I think she's going to retain. But hey, I think it should be a good match. I know a lot of people haven't really been high on Saraya since her return, but I think this match will be good, though. I think this match will definitely be good. A question I want to throw out there. Who do y'all think will be the first ever two-time women's champion in AEW? Who do you think will do it first? John Lee says, were you a fan of Malachi's darkroom gimmick when he got called up to the main roster? Nope. Not at all. Especially when they changed his theme music. They also changed his theme music, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Ooh. The Big Sheep says Shida, but as a heel. See, what's interesting about that, the Big Sheep, I honestly thought Shida was going to turn heel. Like that whole debacle with Saraya picking Toni Storm to go to battle, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Like, I honestly thought that was when Shida was just going to lose her mind and just like go ham on everybody. I really thought that was when the heel turn was going to happen, but they made it seem like she interfered accidentally with the kendo stick and everything. Like, I honestly thought she was going to just vent her frustrations and just go, like, just destroy everybody. And I really feel like they missed out on an opportunity to turn Shida heel. That was, honestly, I thought that was the best opportunity. Because you got to remember, Shida is still the first to reach 50 wins in AEW history. So, like, you know, I just really felt like Shida as a heel would have been, that was the best time to do it. But yeah. Probably Britt, Shida, or even Riho. Those are good. Those are good three. Those are good three picks. Some even say maybe Riho could reascend to the throne again, which, you know, I wouldn't hate that. Did Malachi do any supernatural stuff back on NXT? Not really. Not really. He was just very dominant. But supernatural stuff, nah. I wouldn't say that. He was just very dominant. The Big Sheep says, no nonsense Shida who just canes people and gets W's but would be sweet. Oh yeah. And we gotta remember, you know, Shida, you know, the shining samurai. I mean, you know, brings that style in her matches. And I mean, you know, Shida's been busy even outside of AEW. I mean, doing Ice Ribbon. She did Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Makai, Pro Wrestling Wave. Like, she's still the Regina de Wave champion. Still one half of the Ice Ribbon tag team champions with Itsuki Hoshino. So, but yeah, like Shida, you know, like I said, but you know what my big dream is? My big dream, one time. I want this to happen one time, at least one time. I want a match in AEW with the reuniting team of Shida and Shuri for one night only. For one night only in AEW. I would love to see just randomly Shuri show up in AEW by Sheeta's side, and we get them in a tag match. I would mark out like crazy if that happened. Because y'all got to remember, Shuri and Sheeta are best friends and have won tag team gold before in the past. Sendai Girls, Ozan Academy, and probably some others, but yeah. The Big Sheep says, Sheeta and Shuri versus Miyu and Yuka on like 0 hours. Ooh. Or, I give you one better, the Big Sheep. Sheeta and Shuri, Magical Sugar Rabbits. Although, I wouldn't hate Miyu and Yuka, but if it was up to me, I'd say Magical Sugar Rabbits. But that's a good one. You got a good one. John Elite says, can you see Mercedes showing up at Forbidden Door if we get one this year? Yes and no. I think it's going to depend because there's no telling what kind of schedule Mercedes is going to have. I know that she's going to be defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Azumi. I believe that's at Sakura Genesis. But there's no telling what her schedule is going to be like. And apparently word is there may be building something to a Mercedes Moné versus Mickie James, which honestly the upcoming Impact NJPW collab show would have been the perfect time to do that. But yeah, there's no telling like what kind of schedule. Because honestly, I'm not convinced that Mercedes is signed contractually to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it's on a case by case, on a per match, per basis. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I don't think whatever contract she has with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, whatever, I don't think it's long term. I think it's on a per appearance. What would Mercedes even do in AEW other than what Sakurai is already doing? Good question. Dream matches. I mean, that's really all I could really imagine to be the Big Sheep. Dream matches. I mean, unless she defends the IWGP Women's Championship, which it's possible that could happen. I mean, especially on a collab show, on a Forbidden Door collab show, that could happen. But honestly, I'm just ready to see Mercedes start doing some matches on Stardom and get her feet wet. Like, I hate the whole idea of her just having sparingly matches in, on New Japan Pro Wrestling events, and she don't have no matches on Stardom or anything like that. Like, that would just really be a waste. Would you say that JAS is stale at this point? I mean, they're not really doing anything interesting, to be honest. I can't say they're really doing anything interesting right now. I mean, that could change, but I don't know. The Big Chief says NJPW women's division is weird, to be honest. Is it, or is it not separate to Stardom? So pretty much the women's division is Stardom. It pretty much is Stardom. It's Stardom. Because you got to remember, the IWGP Women's Championship is meant to be defended and showcased through NJPW promoted shows, whether in Japan or internationally, like for instance, just the recent Battle in the Valley. And talent to compete would be built up mainly from Stardom, as well as potentially other promotions, which I think AEW could happen. But the big bulk of the division of the talent, Stardom. So that's pretty much your quote unquote NJPW women's division. It's weird. It's really weird, but yeah, that's how they're doing it. Now that could change at any point in time. The IWGP Women's Championship is still very fresh, but anything can change. She even showed up to the Mandalorian Season 3 premiere with the IWGP Women's title, which is true. Good episode, by the way. But yeah, she did. She definitely did. Any date yet on when Kenny defends the IWGP United States title? No word yet. I don't even think they've built up any challengers for that. I mean, when it comes to NJPW, honestly, unless they plan on having them defended at one of the upcoming U.S. shows like Capital Collision or Collision in Philadelphia, that could probably happen. But that's a good question, John Ali. Because, I mean, NJPW is going to be busy because, you know, they got the New Japan Cup going on right now, or it starts tomorrow. But Ospreay gets a rematch. That I don't know. That I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Because we gotta remember, Will Ospreay is in the New Japan Cup. He's in the New Japan Cup as well, so it might be a while. Kenny is so good he gets titles even when he can't ever defend them. Pretty much. That's the one-winged angel for you. Okay, so just to recap, three-way match for AEW Women's Championship. I am picking Jamie Hayter to retain over Ruby Soho and Saraya. Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. No, John Lee, we got a few more. Texas Death Match, Moxley, Hangman. What is this? The fourth match? Or wait, isn't Mox up 2-1? Mox is up 2-1, right? I think he's up 2-1. Did they change Hangman's music last week? I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but yeah, I did notice that. Third, I think this is their fourth. I think this is their fourth match. I think this is their fourth match. But I am not sure who I'm going to go with in this match. I mean, Mox still has yet to have that vacation that he's supposed to be going on. So, I mean, I guess maybe Hangman. Because John Moxley has been overdue for some time off. Because, I mean, to think about it, he didn't really take a whole lot of time off when he became a father. And, I mean, he did take time off when he went through the rehab, got clean from that. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think Mox is long overdue for some time off. So you know what? I'm gonna go Hangman. I'm gonna go Hangman. The Big Sheep says Hangman will always be my boy. He's got to win. I still believe in him. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pick him as well. John Lee says first one was Hangman when Hangman had the scary spot. Yes, correct. Yeah, after the clothesline, the landing from the clothesline. Yes, that is correct. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Hangman Adam Page to pick up this victory. We got the AEW TNT Championship on the line as the champion. Samoa Joe defends against Wardlow. I am actually going to say Wardlow. I'm going to say Wardlow wins back the TNT Championship. Because honestly, Samoa Joe really doesn't need both titles. And it would be another great opportunity for Samoa Joe to get showcased more on ROH, especially being that he's ROH alumni, one of the best. But I think Wardlow wins back the title. John Lee says, my friend made a joke when Moxley returned from rehab with a shaved head. He called him Stone Cold Mox. Hey, that has a nice ring to it. Stone Cold Mox. It's got a good ring to it. I like it. But yeah, I'm going Wardlow. And then we have Fatal 4-Way for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. As the champs, the Guns versus the Acclaim versus Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Oh my God. This match could have been so much better. I hope the quality of the match ends up making up for just who's facing off in this match, because I'm sorry. This match does not excite me. With who's in it, does not excite me at all. John Lee says, I'm sick of these double champ stuff. Yeah, I've been sick of it way long before now. Not gonna lie, I was expecting FTR to be in the Battle Royal. So unless they're planning on having one last tag title run for them, I think their contracts are up in like April or maybe May. So I'm really not too sure what's going to happen with FTR. Some say they're going to get one last AEW tag title run, maybe, but yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with that. As much as I'm not looking forward to this match, I'm picking the Guns to retain. Hate to say it, but I'm picking the Guns to retain. John Elite says, can you see FTR going back to WWE when their contracts are up? Ooh, that's tough. Because at one point I was thinking yes, but with Vince back, now I'm thinking no. And I do remember them mentioning that they wanted to do some indie work for a bit, for an undisclosed amount of time. But I think with Vince back, I'm going to say no. I mean, I know Edge and Beth Phoenix did a tribute to them hitting the shatter machine on in their last tag team match at Elimination Chamber. against Balor and Rhea Ripley, but I'm going to say no. Like, long before, I would say yes. Right now, I'm going to say no. So, once again, I'm picking the Guns to retain. And then the main event. The big 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Championship. The champ, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, defends against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Johnny Lee says, weren't they supposed to be like clowns or something prior to them leaving? Yeah, they were pretty much, They were pretty much supposed to be like the joke team for the most part, Johnny Lee. You're right. Yeah, I agree. Now, let's see. Once again, I'm at a crossroad with this one. MJF, Bryan Danielson. A really big part of me truly believes Bryan Danielson is going to pull this off. But I just have this bad feeling that MJF is going to pull some sort of shenanigans. Maybe like a last-second pinfall to get one fall more than Bryan Danielson and escape still champion. The Big Sheep says Danielson over MJF, but Dragon still won't win. Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. Because I'm sorry. You would think on paper, ain't no way MJF should escape an Iron Man match with one of the best in the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. But is MJF still in cahoots with the firm? I don't think so, but I do think MJF has backup of some sort. I'm not so sure about the firm because, after all, they did attack him. But one way or another, I think MJF has some backup. I truly believe he has some backup. But still, I want to go with Bryan Danielson so badly. But my thing is, even if MJF wins, where do we go from here? And now that you think of it, even if Bryan Danielson wins, where do we go from here? So it's like, you know what? I hate to say it. But I'm going to go with MJF. I just have a bad feeling he's going to do some sort of shenanigans or have some sort of backup that's going to help him win. Even if the rest of the BCC were to interfere to try to equal things out, I think MJF is still going to have some sort of secret backup to escape with this title. MJF's backup is going to be Big Bill and the Wranglers. Whew. Might be, or at least one of them. Do you think we'll get any surprises / returns tomorrow? Good question. Also, does anybody find it kind of weird that Jade Cargill isn't defending the title on this show? Anybody find that kind of weird? Surprises returns tomorrow. I think there will be. A lot of people are thinking CM Punk, but I don't know. Too soon for Punk? Yeah, John Lee, a lot of people are saying or thinking CM Punk, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Maybe Pac returns. I don't even know if Layla Hirsch is cleared. I would love to see her return. I would love to see Layla Hirsch return. Maybe even Serena Deeb. The Big Sheep says, Jade ran through TK's whole phone book. There's no jobbers left for her. Yeah, I mean, unless they get some random people from Dark. Dark or Dark Elevation. But Switchblade's contract up with New Japan yet? Yes. His last match was the Battle in the Valley with him losing to Eddie Kingston. So yeah, he's a free agent. He is a free agent. There's speculation maybe he shows up at AEW, but there's also speculation that he shows up at WrestleMania. So that could go either way. But I think overall, this card looks pretty solid, aside from the tag team title match. What's with Eddie quitting AEW? Honestly, I think it's a ruse. But I mean, I think he'll be back eventually at some point. But I think right now, I guess the idea is for him to be focused on ROH. I mean, he did show up and challenge Claudio for the ROH World Title. So I mean, but I don't think he's 100% done with AEW. He might be away for a while, but I don't think he's completely done with AEW. Yeah, I don't think he's completely done. But I can understand him getting showcased more on ROH, which, of course, Eddie Kingston in the past has competed on ROH before, a long time ago. So familiar ground. But yeah, so that is your AEW Revolution 2023 card. Overall, a pretty good card. Should be interesting. But yeah, looking forward to watching that with my dad. Watching that. Then I got to get caught up on the start of the New Japan Cup. Then NJPW anniversary show on Monday. Oh man, it's going to be a lot to watch. This is a good question from John Lee. If Switchblade does go to WWE, how do you introduce him to casual fans? Like, do you put him on NXT or on the main roster right away? Honestly, it's probably going to have to be main roster. Like, with a lot of what he's done, I just can't really picture him on NXT, to be honest with you. I really can't. I can't picture him on NXT. Yeah. I think it's gonna have to be main roster. However good or bad that might end up being, I think it's gotta be main roster. Yeah. I think it's gotta be main roster. Because I mean, when you think about it, it might as well be equivalent to, say, if Okada was to come to WWE, you wouldn't put him on NXT. I feel like that would be equivalent. So yeah, I think it'll be main roster, definitely main roster. But yeah, got quite a bit to look forward to. Oh, NXT Roadblock as well. So should be really good. Should be really good. There's a lot to see. And like I said, WrestleMania weekend is going to be crazy packed. Crazy packed. But is he even able to use the Jay White and Switchblade name if he goes to WWE, or do they give him like a goofy name? I don't think he'll get Switchblade. Jay White, maybe, but he might get Jay White, but something tells me he's probably going to get a different name. What name that would be, I have no idea, but I'm thinking probably different name. But good question, though. Really good question. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all that I have. Covered quite a lot tonight. A lot went down just within this past week, and there's just so much to look forward to. But happy pro wrestling, everybody. The Big Sheep says Mania weekend is just an excuse for Speedball to have 10 matches in 3 days again. Speedball Mike Bailey, who I've met before. Really, really cool guy. Did not realize until I went to the DPW show last year, Carolina Classic, I did not realize that he got married to Veda Scott. And I've been a fan of Veda Scott since like back when she was valet in ROH. So I remember I saw those two. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, are y'all together? It's like, oh, we're actually married. And I was like, what? Wow. When did that happen? But yeah, they apparently just got married last year. But yeah, Speedball and Veda Scott. But yeah, which I've met Veda Scott multiple times, seen her wrestle quite a bit. But it looks like she's mainly full-time commentary, which, you know, it's all cool. Has Carl Fredericks debuted yet in WWE? I don't believe so. Unless it's been on NXT Level Up or something like that, or in a dark match, I don't think he has. And now that I think about it, we're still waiting for Dragon Lee to make his debut, but he's been dealing with visa issues. So, yeah, we're still waiting on debuts for both Carl Fredericks and Dragon Lee. Not sure what name Carl Fredericks is going to have, but yeah, still waiting on those two. And Wendy Chu got written off because she's injured, so there's no telling how long Wendy Chu's going to miss, how much time she's going to miss. But Wendy Chu is injured, so yeah. Also, I'm hearing that it's possible that when Tommaso Ciampa returns, that him and Gargano may get reunited for DIY, but we'll see. John Elite says, could Dragon Lee be brought in by HBK after that Grayson Waller effect next week? I'm not so sure. So originally, John Elite, he was actually supposed to debut against Carmelo Hayes. He was supposed to debut against Carmelo Hayes, but due to visa issues, that got delayed, or pretty much that got scrapped. But that's who he was supposed to debut against. Carl Fredericks is actually the last member of NXT UK. Oh, really? He actually came in through that before they shut down. Interesting. What are they doing with Gargano at this point? The whole thing with him and Dexter Lumis is ridiculous. But that's a good question. But I'm thinking there's a chance that they him and Ciampa, when Ciampa returns, whenever that will be, DIY might get reunited. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I was about to say, I was like, whoa, did I miss something? But okay, I was about to say, I was like, wait, really? But I thought I missed something. I was like, oh snap. Not a fan of Gargano's new music. The only music change I'll accept with Gargano is the one he uses with The Way. Yeah, his current new theme is trash. Yeah, his new theme is trash. Even Meiko Satomura's new theme is trash. I really liked her old NXT UK theme better. But yeah. A lot to look forward to though. But hey, Jesse, what's going on? But yeah, Jesse, we're getting close to wrapping up. But Jesse, I'll give you the opportunity to make some comments, ask some questions. What's on your mind? Let's see. Oh yeah, Takumi Aroha makes her return to Marvelous. March 10th. So that'll be cool. Looking forward to that. I'm gonna definitely check that show out. John Elite says, my friend tells me the music changes is because they want to get rid of CFOS. Really? Lame. I'm like, do if they're getting rid of CFOS, then why do Nakamura, KO, and Sammy have their old music? That is a good point. That is actually a really good point. Jesse says Himeka versus Chihiro was fire. It was, but I did not expect Himeka to tap out though, Jesse. Like that hurt. I didn't think she would lose via submission. Like that kind of bothered me a little bit. The match was excellent, but the fact that she tapped out just well, it is what it is, but I didn't like the fact that she lost by submission. Did they also change Candice's music for Candice on Monday? I don't believe so. Not that I remember. I don't think they have yet. I emphasize yet. She got murdered. Shuri will win. So you believe Shuri will beat her at All-Star Grand Queendom? I wonder how they're gonna build that up. Because I expect Big Hosh to have some appearances, hopefully, and Stardom to help build that up. Because, April 23rd won't be here that quickly. But hopefully they will build up towards it. But, I don't know. I mean, I could see Shuri winning, but I could also see Big Hosh winning. It'll be a clash of styles. It'll be a great clash of styles, that's for sure. But I could see either one winning. Got a DPW show March 26th that I'm looking forward to. I'll be attending that in person. Can't wait to see them start building out the card for that. That should be really cool. But yeah, hopefully some more Joshis will get added. I hope we get the way on the main roster down the line. You know what? I think it probably will happen. I don't expect Indy Hartwell to be on NXT for too much longer. So I think we definitely we'll definitely get that down the road. The Big Chief says DPW's base is hell. Yeah, which I'm from North Carolina, so it's easy access for me. And the interesting thing, the Big Chief, what introduced me to DPW, funny story. So I'm sure you may be familiar with Lady Destroyer, Hiroyo Matsumoto. So I've been a fan of hers for a long time. As a matter of fact, Mia Yim's first match in Japan was against Hiroyo Matsumoto. And I remember seeing that match and, just a couple of different matches on YouTube and learning more about Hiroyo Matsumoto because she's only in her mid-30s. But I legit last year, because I learned about DPW like middle of last year. And I won't ever forget, I follow Hiroyo Matsumoto on social media, and I kid you not, a day before the show, I caught her post that she would be wrestling Rosemary at DPW in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was just like, whoa. I immediately, whatever plans I had, I canceled, bought a ticket the day before, showed up, and it was just like a dream come true. Hiroyo Matsumoto versus Rosemary. Great match. Rosemary did win, but it was so cool to meet Hiroyo Matsumoto after the show. She did a meet and greet, got to meet her. And ever since then, I have gone to almost every DPW show. I think I missed one other show after that. But ever since then, I've been to every DPW show. Speaking of bad WWE themes, Electra Lopez's music sounds like freaking elevator music. I don't even remember it, so I'll take your word for it. Jesse says, gotta bounce, but thanks for keeping Joshi alive. Oh, yeah. You too. You've been helping me out. You've been helping me out as well, so I appreciate you. Can Cody's platform entrance only work at Mania? Because I'm disappointed with his entrances on Raw and premium live events as of late. Yeah, you make a good point, John Elite. You make a good point. I mean, they're probably only saving it. They're probably only saving it for like WrestleMania and like the big like big 4 or big 5 pay-per-views. So yeah. The Deadlock podcast is what introduced me to DPW. Crazy how good it's been. Oh yeah, absolutely. And just the load of talent that I've gotten to meet through these shows. Hiroyo Matsumoto, Miyu Yamashita, Miyuki Takase, the Best Bros, Maya Yukihi, Jungle Kiona 3 times in a row, like Konosuke Takeshita, Mizuki, like the Workhorsemen, like so many great talent. Lucky Ali, Jay Malachi, Diego Hill, Andrew Everett. Like, I love the talent. Wasteland War Party just recently defended the TJPW Princess Tag titles for the first time in the United States. So, made history courtesy of DPW. So, Emi Sakura, Sumi Sakai, like, just the talent that's been pouring through DPW has been just amazing. Like, I would have never imagined. And see, I only maybe been keeping up with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling maybe a year and a half, but the fact that I got a chance to meet Miyu Yamashita, especially when she was hot, like, wow. Never would have thought that would happen. And she was really, really cool. Speaks good English, too. I liked his entrances in AEW. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. For Cody, agreed. The Big Sheep says, when they booked Miyu Yamashita, that's when I realized anything is possible. Anything is possible. And not to mention, I missed the first couple of months. They booked Ryo Mizunami and you. So they even started early with the Joshi talent. So, that's another thing. I guess Dijak's finger is better since he's got that jailhouse match with Tony D next week. That is true. That is true. Still don't like his new gimmick, the jailhouse, like security, like cop SWAT member gimmick. I'm not really feeling that gimmick, but yeah. Okay. Can Goldberg please hang up the boots? His matches nowadays aren't even that great. Yeah, he needs to. He definitely needs to, for sure. He needs to, for sure. But I have to say, from the talent that I've met at DPW, especially Joshi's, it's funny meeting the best bros, Balian Aiki, Mei Saruga. So the first time when we had Mei Saruga versus Emi Sakura, I met Mei Saruga and she was really, really cool. And I legit told her in front of the crowd, like, I hope she gets another shot at the high speed championship. And the whole crowd just agreed with me and she was in agreement. And that was just a really cool moment. Then the second time I met Mei Saruga was when Balian Aki came through, had the best bros, and I wore my Choco Pro shirt, and she spotted me and called me out. So I was on my way to my seat, but Mei Saruga called me out. I had to stop and go to the table. I couldn't do anything else, so it was pretty funny. What do you see Big E doing if he unfortunately can't wrestle anymore? Commentary. Either commentary or kind of that philanthropist role, kind of like what Titus O'Neil has been doing. I could see one of those two. Either commentary or philanthropist, kind of like Titus O'Neil. What would you say is the best faction in New Japan that's currently active? To be honest with you, I would have to say it's got to come down to probably either Aussie Open or LIJ. Bullet Club just doesn't seem like itself anymore. I don't think Bullet Club is really what it used to be. So I'd have to say Aussie Open and LIJ are probably my two. Can you see Big E being like a coach backstage? Perhaps. I just don't know how active coaches have to be in the ring. I don't think if he's unable to wrestle, I don't know about coach. Only because I don't know really how active you have to be to really qualify. So, but I could be wrong. The Big Sheep says one of DPW's owners is a huge Joshi fan. Facts. His favorite wrestler is Jungle Kyona, so that must have been surreal for him to book her. Oh, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And it was so much fun meeting her all 3 times. First time, had a great match with her Nomad stablemate, Maya Yukihi. Second time, she teamed up with Sumi Sakai to go up against Janai Kai and Hayan. Great match. And then, of course, she had the number 1 contendership match with Emi Sakura. All 3 excellent matches. Who do you think takes over Bullet Club if Switchblade leaves? I gotta be honest with you. I mean, as far as current members in New Japan, to be honest, nobody really qualifies in my opinion. Like, nobody really qualifies in my opinion. If you ask me, I can't really picture anybody. Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. Ever since Punk returned to wrestling a few years ago, did he put anyone over in AEW? I mean, even though he beat him, maybe Darby Allin, but maybe Darby Allin, but good question. Just kill Bullet Club already. Yeah, in all honesty, like, but I think they're about to hit, what is it, the 10th or 20th anniversary of Bullet Club or something like that. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if Bullet Club ended. But I mean, I don't know. Like, they just hit another anniversary. So, like, 2018 was 5 years. 6, 27. Yeah, so they hit their 10-year anniversary coming up in May, I believe. 10-year anniversary. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Would The Rock have the acting career he has today if he was still Rocky Maivia? Probably not. Probably not. At least I don't think so. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. Why does Kenta have a sleeve on one leg? I did notice that. Not too sure, but I did notice that. Hamstring, maybe. But I'm not too sure. But I did notice that. Let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have tonight. But yeah, it is actually getting late on my end, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here. I want to thank everybody that came out to chat it up with me tonight. Y'all have been a great audience. I love the feedback. I love the questions. I love the pro wrestling talk. I love hearing y'all's takes. Thank y'all so much for coming through, and hope y'all enjoyed the content. One last reminder, don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty for video game themed cosmetic and makeup products. Blitzball Champ, promo code. If you make a purchase, 10% off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it, and let me know what your thoughts are. For those that catch this later, that catch the archive, let me know what your thoughts are. What your predictions are. How do you think the Stardom Triangle Derby went? Who do you think is going to win the New Japan Cup? Who do you think is going to win at Revolution? And yeah, just open season. Great stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Glad that Backlash isn't called WrestleMania Backlash anymore. That was bad. Highly agree. Highly agree. But thank y'all so much for coming through for another pro wrestling talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I hope everybody has a great start to the week, and I will see y'all in the next video. God bless. Peace. Love y'all.